want to apologize that I have been gone so long. I see people subscribing to me almost every day, or at least several times a week, and I always feel awful because I haven't made any new spinning or knitting videos in a while. But I'm sure you all know how it is. Life gets in the way. If you follow me at all on Facebook or anywhere else, you know that I've got 6 kids, and well, that takes a lot of time. Also, I'm an author in my day job, so writing takes a lot of time also. But I am back to spinning now with some exciting news. I recently got a new spinning wheel. I got a Schacht Matchless, and I'm going to be giving you a demonstration today on lace spinning, spinning very nice, fine, consistent yarns. As you all know, I've been spinning on my Echo over here, my Spinolution Echo, which I absolutely adore. I love Spinolution wheels, I love my Echo, but they are mainly for thicker, chunkier art weight types of yarns. And I found myself recently knitting with a lot of lace weight or fingering weight yarns. So I can spin those on my Echo, but it takes a lot of sort of maneuvering to get the type of yarn that I wanted. So for about a year now, I've wanted to get another wheel just dedicated to spinning thinner and more consistent yarns. And I was lucky enough to be up at one of my local yarn shops. They had a Schacht Matchless there, which was one of the wheels I was considering. I tried it out and just fell in love with it. So today I am going to be showing you my new Matchless, and I'm going to be showing you how I spin a nice, thin, consistent yarn. So we will head over to my wheel in just a minute and I'll show you what I do. You can come. Hi, we're back here at my wheel. I have this little area set up in my studio is where I've got my wheel and my spinning chair set up. This is my new Matchless. I love her. Something that's different that I want to point out is that she is a double drive spinning wheel, whereas the Echo is a single drive. And that means I have a drive band over this part of the flyer and the bobbin. Now, this is mainly used in spinning fine and consistent yarns. The neat thing about the Matchless is that it does have the ability to be switched to a single drive if you want to, but right now I have it set up on the double drive. And I'll show you in another video down the line how you can convert it to a single drive. So what I thought I'd do today is I bought this beautifully dyed roving. Here, isn't that pretty? I bought it because it reminds me of spring. And I'm going to make something for my daughter with it because the colors are happy and they remind me of my little girl, Gabrielle. I bought this and my Matchless at Fiber Optic Yarns. They have a website. I've bought a few things from them and everything has been wonderful. So I highly recommend. It's Kimber Baldwin Designs in Cincinnati, Ohio. And that's where I got both my wheel and this roving. So what I'm going to do, there are a couple of ways if you want to spin a finer, more consistent yarn, there are a couple of ways that you could start out. What I could do is I could take this beautifully braided roving and I could separate it, after I unbraid it of course, I could separate it into, I could split it in half and then split those halves into half again. And then what I would do, you can see the roving here. I don't know if it's picking it up, but you see it's already kind of naturally, if I put my thumb in here, it would just naturally separate, okay? And what I could do is I could separate this in half and put half aside, because I know I don't want this to be a singles. I want it to be at least a 2-ply yarn. I could split it in half, and then you can see it divides again. I could split those halves in half and then spin. But in fact, since this one is split, I was going to spin just from this roving, but I am going to go ahead and split it in half this time. And I'm not even pulling, it's just naturally coming apart like this. And this could This would give me my 2 singles that then I will later ply into 1 yarn, okay? Now this one didn't come apart as evenly, but there we go. So now I've got 2, and I could even further divide this if I wanted to, and then just keep dividing it until I've almost completely drafted it and it's almost as thin as I want the finished yarn to be. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it here. I've only divided it in half. I have drafted out a little bit of the beginning. This fiber is not compressed or anything, so I'm not going to do much. I've only drafted out about this much pre-drafting, and I'm not going to do any more pre-drafting with this. Pre-drafting is if I would go along the roving, I would hold a little more than a staple's length apart, and I would gently pull to pre-separate some of the fibers. And when I first started spinning, I would go through my rovings and I would do this because it made it a lot easier. Now I've developed the muscle memory to be able to spin without that. But if you want to pre-draft, you go right ahead. But what I'm going to do to start out, I've got my leader on my bobbin. I'm going to put the roving through here, double it back on itself, see? And then I'm going to start spinning, and then I let some twist go up. I'm going to do this slowly, and I pull back. I pinch and pull back, pinch and pull back. If I need to come up and redraft, I untwist. So I've got a thick part here, but I'm not concerned about that. And then I let it go right in. So what it is, what I find myself doing is it's this small pinch and forward. It's almost this inchworm method, pinch and forward. Pinch and forward, and what I do, so this hand, let me show you, I'm pinching and pulling forward, okay? And normally I'm traveling at the same time, and I'm letting the twist move up, okay? Let me get this on here. But with this hand, I'm not just holding the fiber, okay? Because what I'm going to be doing with this hand, since I did not pre-draft the entire thing, I'm going to be moving back and forth along the top here. So with this hand, it's almost like a break. So you see here in this hand, I started over here on the left, pinching and pulling and feeding in here. And now I'm over here on my right. So this thumb on my back hand starts here, or starts here pinching. Let me rephrase that. What I'm going to do, since I'm going to start moving back this way, I'm going to pinch here with my right hand, because I'm going to start moving my left hand back toward the left, and I'm going to move my right hand with it. What I'm doing is I'm stopping these fibers on the right from going into the twist, okay? Let me see if you can just watch. I'm going to try to do this very slowly. So my right hand, my back hand is here. I'm letting these fibers on my left go in. Now I'm all the way over onto the left, so I'm going to scoot over and pinch those so that I can go back to the right. Now I'm going to scoot over, pinch to the right, and I'm making exaggerated movements for you. You see, I'm only letting a little at a time go through. This is why I don't have to pre-draft when I'm doing a fine yarn. So right here, go down, pinch there so that I move over to the left. Now I'm all the way over on the left. I'm going to jump this back thumb over and let those fibers on the right come out so that I can this is a multicolored fiber, so that way I'm not spinning down one way and having a whole bunch of fiber left, okay? So one more time, let me show you. I'm on the left, I've come up here, I've used all the fiber on my left, so I'm going to pinch that so it can't go forward. Pinch forward, pull back. Now you see I'm working on the right. Now I'm going to move over, pinch that, And now I'm using the fibers on the left. Okay, now I'm gonna pinch and stop, go along here, and this way I'm having an even color distribution. Now, how do I get it so fine? Well, a lot of that is practice, but what I'm doing with this hand, it's become second nature to me. But what I do is I'm always kind of helping when the twist is going in. I'm helping with these two fingers. I'm kind of rolling forward. If there's too much twist, if I'm getting twist back here and I do not want twist back there, I'll roll these two fingers and unroll it. So I'll roll to my left, okay? I'm gonna try to slow that down and let you see what I'm doing there. So see, twisting, going a little bit, rolling it. Now I'm going to over twist. So you see, I've got some twist back here. I don't want this twist back here. I want to keep it in front because I'm doing a worsted spin. So what I'm going to do is just unroll, slide my fingers back so that I'm pinching again, and then keep on going like I did before. So, and if you'll see, well, let me put it up against my pants here. You'll see this is spinning a nice, fine, very even yarn. And what it is learning that, is creating that muscle memory in your hands. Remember, your back hand, whichever is holding your fiber supply, is also going to be moving. So I'm over here on my left, I'm pinching the fiber supply. I do not want it to go in. So you can see it a little more here because I have not pre-drifted. So I'm pinching and stopping that. So you can see my front hand is now gathering up more fiber from the other side. So now I'm on my left. Now I'm moving over, I'm pinching that so that that fiber can't go into the supply or into the yarn I'm making. And my front hand has to automatically go across the fiber. So again, pinch back here, pull forward, allow the twist to go, and scoot back while the twist is going. So backhand is pinching and just stopping the fiber from going in. Front hand is controlling the diameter and the smoothness of the fiber, okay? And normally I work a little closer to the orifice, but that's really all it is when you're spinning a fine yarn. It's really taking that control over how much fiber you're letting go into the orifice at one time. So, and your hands are working together. Your backhand is never just still. I'm going to unroll here, apply it back on itself to give you an idea of what this yarn will look like when it's finished. Check and see if I have enough twist. And I think I could probably actually use a little bit more twist in the beginning because I've been slowing everything down to show you all. But once I get up in a normal spinning speed for me, that'll make a really nice yarn. So anyway, I hope you will continue to join me and like and subscribe. I promise that I will be more regular with my videos and with my contribution to YouTube. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more videos.